Yo, what's Gucci, my Grookey squad? It's your boy Sobble here, back with another Scorch and Scorbunny video. As you can see, I've been having Pokémon Sword and Shield a lot on my mind as of lately, just because there's been so much new stuff that's coming out the last few weeks of Pokémon Sword and Shield, and, well, it's got me thinking, not only which starter am I gonna pick, but which one's gonna be the best one to pick, right? And, well, I think we now have enough information to actually dive into which starter will be the best one to pick for Pokémon Sword and Shield based on statistics, as well as, well, the overall typing that so far is the most seen in the Galar region. But before we jump into that, we do have some new gameplay footage of Pokémon Sword and Shield, as well as a few newest articles I would like to go over that has surfaced throughout the week. You guys seem to really enjoy these Zemazeta and Zedzian theory videos, so thank you so much from the bottom of my heart actually for that. You guys seem to really enjoy it, so I'll bring more videos like that to the channel, and that's why this one took so long to make. So we're gonna jump into the information first, which over the week not much has surfaced, but Masuda and Omori actually commented on that, and well, this year they're doing that intentionally. Not only are they doing that intentionally, but they're actually doing it intentionally where they have only shown Pokemon that have reappeared in the Galar region more than the Pokemon that are new in the Galar region. That way there's some more of a way of surprising the games, because they feel that as of late, we've kind of been spoiled by that. They didn't really say that part in the article, but I feel like that's what Masuda and Omori was thinking in their heads when moving with the decision to actually make it so that there isn't much revealed of Pokémon Sword and Shield this year. Because really, when you think about it, we've only seen like this much information compared to, well, like when Pokémon Sun and Moon got revealed. By the time the games were almost released, we had the whole damn game in our hands. We're like, okay, well, I guess this is alright. Like, I don't know, like, but over the week, we actually did get a trailer that showcased all the Pokemon that have so far been introduced in the Galar region, as possibly some new Pokemon here. And I say possibly because some fans, including myself, are speculating that these Pokemon are only appearing in the trailer just because, well, they're iconic to those games, and it doesn't mean particularly that it will be coming to Pokemon Sword and Shield. Speaking of, like, Pokemon that are returning, it seems that Generation 5 has a lot of Pokemon returning, which is great. Like, I love Generation 5. My Pokemon that, well, as you know, my mascot Generation 5, it's Victini. I'm fingers crossed that somehow Victini makes it across the border that is the Galar region. So before we get into who's going to be the best starter Pokemon for you in Pokémon Sword and Shield, we're going to jump into the new gameplay that's been shown, just because I personally haven't actually watched it. If you listen closely here, you can hear like the little red beam like humming and stuff there. So I guess when you're running around the wall, which I'm assuming this is happening, you'll hear like a humming sound, and then you'll know like, okay, there's like a beam right beside me or like near me, if you can't see the red beam going up in the sky for some reason. And here we actually see new gameplay of Gigantamax Butterfree, it seems. And we actually get his cry right there. That thing sounds awesome. Butterfree will definitely be joining my team Pokemon Sword and Shield. Honestly, I like I said earlier, I have a newfound respect for bug-type Pokemon ever since I used Butterfree in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Okay, we got Gigantamax Alcremie. I want to use this thing too. Like, this is a very unique Pokemon. I'm going to try and collect them all as well, because I feel like it's going to be like the Vivillon challenge for Pokemon X and Y, but a lot harder this time, because it seems that there's 26 of these guys, and even more. As of right now, we only know 26, which is a lot. I don't think they would show all, like, the forms right off the bat. Or maybe they would. I don't know. I just think they wouldn't do that, so that way there's something you can find out for yourself. Because I don't believe they showed all the Vivillon forms right off the bat for Pokemon X and Y. But I may be mistaken on that. It's been so long since Pokemon X and Y got released. So now we're actually going to jump into the starter Pokemon, and more specifically, which one is the best one to choose for Pokemon Sword and Shield with the information that we have as of right now, with the following. More specifically, we're gonna like minimize them to the 4 most occurring types of Pokemon Sword and Shield that are returning as of October 20th. And well, those are Water, Flying, Grass, and Psychic. And right now we know that, well, Grookey is a Grass type, Sobble is a Water type, and Scorbunny is a Fire type, right? We can assume that Scorbunny evolves into a firing type because it's a common occurrence. And I know it's silly to make assumptions on what has happened in the past, because Gamefreak can go anyway. But that's the way I'll be doing it in this video. But we'll also look at just which one will be the best one to choose, despite which starter I think the final typing will be, right? For Sobble, I'm gonna go on the route of another very water type Pokemon as the final evolution. Why, you may ask? I don't know. I feel like it'll evolve into like an amphibian type thing that looks like a frog, or like a frog with legs, almost like a polytoad. And then for for Grookey, I'm assuming it's gonna evolve into a grass fighting type Pokemon. This because of all the rumors and stuff I've seen floating around. A lot of them point to him having like two massive things that he hits at the end of the day on the ground, which makes sense because they emphasize a lot on the stick. And then when they ask if Grookey uses the stick later on in an interview with Omori and Masuda, Omori of course says it's hard to say. But so now that we got that information there, let's look at actually stats for the Scorbunny, Grookey, and Sobble. Right off the bat, you can see that Grookey is more a special defense / speedy Pokemon. Its HP is alright, but its defense and special defense and speed outshines overall everything else. Its attack's alright as well, but it has garbage special attack. You can actually find these stats by looking at the E3 gameplay footage and analyzing it there. But there are some sources down below that go even further into this, which is where I gather this information from. Which is very helpful. And I decided to go with the lowest base stats here for these Pokemon, just because, well, at the end of the day, I feel like that's the best way to assume things, is by going with the worst, because you never know what you're going to start with, right? Pokédex entry: Grookey is a chimp-like Pokemon with a green colored body, brown tail and ears. It has two leaf-shaped hair tufts on the top of its head, which holds a stick, and it uses this stick to instill life into the surrounding area. It's a chimp Pokemon, height 0.3 meters and weight is 5 kilograms, with the ability Overgrow. With the information I gather, Grookey's HP can range from anywhere from 42 to 74, its attack 26 to 57, defense 27 to 59, special attack anywhere from 1 to 32, special defense 17 to 49, and speed 26 to 58, or its base stats 265 to 329. Which in overall is actually not a bad Pokemon comparing to the rest, to like how the rest score. Now we know Grookey's base stats. Let's look at, well, the overall Pokemon here. So right off the bat, we got Water type Pokemon being the overall one, but then it counteracts with Flying type. And if we go by the usual way Pokemon does Pokemon games, you know there's gonna be some Flying type Pokemon right off the bat on the beginning route of the game, as well as my other Pokemon. And I believe that Wooloo might be one of the Pokemon we'll be able to capture in the beginning of the game. Seeing that, well, the gameplay footage that we have seen in the past, there's Wooloo roaming around. Well, you can talk to them, you can't capture them, but I'm assuming if you run in the grass, you'll encounter Wooloo for yourself. So we can counter the Flying type of one very easily with a Wooloo, and I'm assuming Wooloo evolve as well. We just don't know the evolution as of right now. And then Grass is the third one, which occurs a lot. So then we already kind of run into a problem there, because we started with Grass type Pokemon. We got Wooloo, right? Then we got an odd one, which is Psychic type. I think Psychic type Pokemon will be more later in the game, like in the wild area and stuff, because in the wild area we did see Natu there as well, Xatu. So I feel it'll be later on in the game, so we don't gotta worry about Psychic type Pokemon until later on in the game. And we already got a pretty good team based upon if we start off with Grookey and then capture Corviknight's little evolution, and then capture Wooloo. So we got a pretty good start there, because Corviknight eventually is a dark type Pokemon, I believe. No, it's actually a flying steel type Pokemon, which still actually is pretty good. That actually puts us in a better spot than before, because dark type Pokemon are very frail, and like later on, fighting type and ghost type Pokemon become a problem, as well as normal type Pokemon. And if Grookey doesn't have any fighting type moves, if it does even evolve into fighting type Pokemon at the end of the day, we're kind of screwed against normal type Pokemon, because normal type Pokemon versus normal type Pokemon don't make a good combo. So that's even better. So Corviknight overall will be a good selection to add to the team there. So Grookey, it can start off with a pretty good start as well. So I've gone ahead and actually hacked in some Pokemon, starter Pokemon per se, with these stats that we've seen from E3 gameplay. And well, we're battling against actually a pretty tough trainer here, and we're the same level as it. And I gave him some leftovers just because, like, I find these Pokemon are kind of frail, to be honest. At least with how the Generation 7 metrics work for the games, I'm assuming they'll be a lot better in Pokémon Sword and Shield, based on the metrics that we've seen on from them so far. So I'm not gonna actually go ahead and switch into Scorbunny, I believe. And Scorbunny actually put some. No, I switched into Sobble for some reason. Okay, So I went ahead and used the Auto Pokemon Popplio as Sobble. It's because I feel like it looks kind of the same, right? Kind of. Okay, I know it doesn't really look like it, but this will do for now, okay? And I have to say Sobble is actually quite buff. So maybe go with Sobble end of the day. We'll get into that in a second here. But overall, it's attacked not so well, and I actually gave it some I gave these Pokemon some natures that go well with its best stats. And now we're gonna go see Scorbunny here, and Scorbunny of course puts in the work. I went with this thing because I think it's a hamster and a bunny and a hamster, and they're cousins. We'll go with that, okay? And of course, Scorbunny puts in some work here and just demolishes this Butterfree with a flamethrower because we bred this thing, right? So is Grookey the best starter Pokemon? Well, if you're wanting to go the route where you catch a bunch of Pokemon alongside and very early on, then I would recommend Grookey. But if you're one of those people like myself that I want to do sometimes where I just want to use a starter Pokemon, I would not recommend Grookey. There's just too many obstacles right off the bat with Grookey. And I'm assuming later on they'll become greater for Grookey and you'll have to eventually capture some more Pokemon. But overall, Grookey's stats is great. I'm very impressed with it actually. And will I be choosing Grookey? Not exactly. There's somebody else I have in mind. So the next Pokemon I want to talk about is actually Scorbunny. And well, Scorbunny's stats are very, very easy to minimize and actually look at because, well, if you look at the stats, there isn't really much to look at. So Scorbunny overall, it's a very attack of Pokemon. It likes to attack things, which makes sense. If you listen to some of the interviews we had from Masuda and Amori, they said a lot that Scorbunny likes to jump around, he's full of energy, so it makes sense that he's the attacking type, but not only that, he's the speedy type Pokemon as well. And with that information, we can now look at, well, let's see the most common occurring Pokemon types again, shall we? Water, that's okay. Well, it's very unlikely for you to have water type Pokemon appear in the beginning of the game. So I feel like for the very beginning of the game, Scorbunny will do really well. However, I know there's a water type gym that comes on later in the game, but that's fine though. Your rival has been spotted to have a Lotad very early in the game, so that kind of gives us the option of catching a Lotad and using that against the water type gym. And then Lotad obviously can take care of Psychic type Pokemon as well with its Bite, because it does learn Bite later on. Overall, Scorbunny will be a great decision to choose as your starter Pokemon if you want a really easy playthrough of Pokemon Sword and Shield, because its stats are amazing. It's got the attack stats of a god, it's got the hit points of a semi-god, and it's got the speed of a rabbit. So I think overall, it's Scorbunny. If you're looking for a really, really easy way to like play through Pokemon Sword and Shield, go for Scorbunny. Now, for the last Pokemon, and I would like to say I saved best for last because I personally believe that Sobble is the best Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield for the starter Pokemon. Why, you may ask? Well, overall, all of its stats are pretty well balanced. It's got a base HP of 42, special attack of 62, and speed of 31. Special attack can range anywhere from 60 to 94. Most water type Pokemon are special attackers, so a 62 to 94 base special attack is just, oh, it's insane. So right off the bat, you can see that Sobble has quite a few problems in Pokemon Sword and Shield when it comes to the overall type that is the most common, which is water type Pokemon, and Sobble unfortunately is a water type Pokemon. But at the same time, because there's a lot of grass type Pokemon, you can definitely capture yourself some grass type Pokemon off the beginning of the game, because I'm guessing that a Gossifleur will be there in the beginning of the game. As for flying type Pokemon, I believe your best bet for that would be to catch something like a Roly-Poly-Oli, or a Geodude, or a Larvitar, or something along those lines. I know that with some of the pre-orders you are able to get a Dynamax Crystal of Jangmo-O, so maybe that's an option as well, just to pre-order the game and get that Pokemon. Sobble, I'm gonna go with more, it's gonna be along the lines of a Grookey run. So with Grookey, you're gonna have to capture some other Pokemon alongside it in order to make it work really well right off the bat. I'm gonna go for the same route with Sobble. If you want Sobble to work off right off the bat, especially the stats it has, capture some other Pokemon alongside with it. With the information we have, we now know Sobble, Scorbunny, and Grookey's stats. And we know the most common occurring typings in Pokemon Sword and Shield. And we've gone and analyzed those and see how well Sobble, Grookey, and Scorbunny will battle against these Pokemon. So there you have it. Now you know that if you want a very relaxed playthrough of Pokemon Sword and Shield, you go with the Scorbunny. If you want a very challenging playthrough of Pokemon Sword and Shield in the beginning of the game, go with Sobble, but it does get easier later on with Sobble. And then if you want a semi-relaxed, but not too relaxed / challenging playthrough, go with Grookey. But you'll have the captures from other Pokemon with Grookey based on the stats we have as of right now on. That's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it's been taking quite some time to produce videos like this. The next video that's going to be coming out shouldn't take too long, and then after that we're going to go into more playthrough type series and have these videos kind of on the back burner. As always, thank you so much for watching. It means the world to me that you have taken some time out of your day to watch me ramble about some Pokemon and dive into which order will be the best for you to choose Pokemon Sword and Shield. Until next time, peace out, see you guys, and hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day.